They told us electric cars were the future, cleaner, cheaper, smarter, no fuel, no oil changes, and for years in the UK, no road tax. That was one of the big selling points. You buy an EV, you save money. Simple, except not anymore. Because starting in 2025, the UK quietly flipped the script, and by 2028, they're taking it even further. EVs are getting taxed hard, and the way they're doing it feels less like environmental policy and more like a revenue recovery plan. Let me show you exactly how we got here. For years, EVs had a free pass, zero road tax, zero emissions charge in most places. If you wanted to save on running costs, going electric made sense. The government pushed it. Incentives, grants, infrastructure plans, marketing, they wanted you in an EV. Fast forward to 1st April 2025, that entire exemption vanished. Every EV, no matter what, now pays standard VED, about £195 a year for most electric cars. And if your EV cost more than £40,000 when it was new, you get hit with the expensive car supplement on top of that. Hundreds more per year. Suddenly, those promised savings are starting to evaporate. But that's only stage one. Stage two arrives in April 2028, and this is the part nobody expected this early. The UK government announced a mileage-based tax specifically for EVs and plug-in hybrids. About 3 pence per mile for a full battery electric vehicle, 1.5 pence per mile for a plug-in hybrid. Doesn't sound like much until you do the math. 8,000 miles a year. That's another 240 to 270 pounds on top of your VED. If you've got a higher-end EV, you're already paying north of $600 a year in tax after the supplement. Add mileage tax, insurance, electricity, and suddenly the cheap-to-run future doesn't look all that cheap anymore. So why do this? Simple. Fuel duty is disappearing. With fewer petrol and diesel cars buying fuel, the government is losing billions in tax revenue, and they still need to maintain the roads. Their solution is make EV owners pay it directly. They're not calling it a punishment, they're calling it fairness. But from the outside, it feels a lot like moving the goalposts after we've already stepped onto the pitch. People bought EVs under one set of rules. The government changed the rules halfway through the game. And here's the thing. Once this door is open, it's not closing again. If they can charge 3 pence per mile today, what stops them from charging 5 or 10 tomorrow? What stops them adding extra taxes based on the size of your battery, the weight of your car, or the emissions of the electricity you charge with? When a revenue stream starts working, governments rarely shrink it, they expand it. Let me put it into real numbers. Before April 2025, zero road tax. After April 2025, £195 per year. If your car was over £40,000, add roughly another 425 quid. From 2028, mileage tax, easily pushing your annual total toward 800 or even 900 pounds. And that's assuming average driving. So if you bought an EV thinking you'd save money in the long term, you might be in for a shock. The frustrating part is the psychology. For years, EV adoption was incentivized. People were encouraged to switch. Now, once enough people switched, the incentive is being pulled back and replaced with a tax system that feels almost identical to owning a petrol car. In some cases, more expensive. This is why trust matters. You can't tell people, go electric, it's cheaper, and then quietly make it more expensive. It makes drivers feel like guinea pigs, or even worse, like customers captured in a system they can't escape. If you own an EV today, this is what you need to know. Do the math. Check your VED. Check if your car qualifies for the expensive car supplement. Estimate your mileage, and be ready for April 2028. If you're thinking about buying an EV, really think about how much you drive. Low-mileage drivers, EVs still make sense. High mileage drivers? The savings are nowhere near what they used to be. As someone who believed in the idea of EVs, it's disappointing. I bought into the idea that running costs would get lower, not higher. But right now, the UK's policies are telling EV owners something very different. They're saying you're not the exception anymore. You're just another source of tax revenue. Let me know what you think. Are EV taxes fair? Or is this the beginning of another long list of costs that slowly get added until green technology becomes just another financial burden? Because today it's road tax. In 3 years, it's a mileage tax. And eventually, who knows? Maybe they'll find a way to tax how much electricity your car uses, or which charger you plug into, or how many times you use fast charging. If the past few years have shown anything, it's this: nothing stays tax-free forever.